Good morning. It is May 13th, and we are looking at guncalendars.com, where we attempt to archive daily gun history. It's been a couple of days since we've been doing the update, so apologize for missing a few. We'll go back and catch up. But today is May 13th, and today is the anniversary of the birth of Arthur Savage. So Savage Firearms and the Savage Model 99 that's where they get their name from, this guy. I didn't know much about Savage until I was doing the Firearms Inventors playing card deck, doing the research for that, and turns out Savage lived up to his name. I think I've attempted to describe this guy's adventures in the past, and I'm not going to remember everything or do it justice, but born in Jamaica, he ended up moving to Australia. He moved to England for a bit, moved to Australia, became one of the largest ranchers there, if I remember right. Left Jamaica, or left Australia, went to Jamaica. I think that there's different stories. He either grew coffee or bananas, ended up inventing a torpedo, moved back and forth between the North America and England, or at least Europe, and then ended up getting back. He ran a railroad, and then while he was doing that, he worked with Browning and developed his own rifle. He invented the rotary magazine, so think of like a Ruger 1022, that style magazine, except for rifles, just at the time when cartridges went to center fire and the lever actions, pointy bullets wasn't a great combo. So he invented a clever rifle just at the right time, and then he got out of firearms, I guess. Even though he'd worked with Colt and with Marlin and others, he ended up getting into racing, and he moved out to California, and then got so much into automobile racing that the tires weren't good enough. So he's most famous, not for his rifles, but evidently for inventing the Radial tire. So he needed tires that were faster to race. He had an interesting life, and then, well, I'll encourage you, if you're interested, to check that out. I had no idea when I started doing that project that firearms inventors would have such interesting lives, but they certainly do. So it is May 13th. We haven't done this in a while, so we'll quickly look back. Yesterday, of course, was the day that the Terminator robot and Kyle came back from 2029 and fought back in 1984 in LA. And then we had Eric Sykes from the Sykes-Fairbairn daggers and the combat training. It was the anniversary of his passing yesterday. We had Jeff Cooper being born on the 10th. We had Indiana ending the prohibition on open carry back in 2017. It was the birthday of John Lott, firearms researcher. So if you want, you can head over to Crime Prevention Research Center and buy a book, or offer a couple of bucks to say thanks to John Lott for his awesome work for 2A for his birthday. Missed it by a couple of days here. We got Dick Casull, the anniversary of his passing in 2018. Of course, famous for many cartridges, large firearms, and I'm most thankful for him for the tiny revolvers. We had John Marlin being born this month. Simonoff, Russian firearms inventor, died this month. Alan Shepard, first American in space this month. One of the neatest, well, we have Alan Gottlieb. His birthday was this month. I don't remember if I did a video on that one or not, but one of the neatest things was the Girl in the Gun annual training conference was supposed to be held, because all this craziness, they did it as a teleconference, and from what I understand, it was a success. So lots of good stuff happened this month. We're back on track, so I think this microphone is working. If it is, I'll test this one out when we're done. We'll go ahead and have these going for the rest of the month. We added lots of new stuff. Oh, you know what else I definitely wanted to post, because I just found this on that the other day. We want to include it. May 10th, so we just missed this one by a few days. May 10th, 1980 was the anniversary of the invention of the first battery-powered squirt gun. And the first battery-powered squirt gun was the UZI. A lot of people had these. I posted this one on Instagram. A lot of people had these. This is where it comes from. It was all crammed into a Thompson. that this company Larami had. It was just a regular squirt gun with a bunch of space for water. That was their first attempt at a large squirt gun. And this guy, this inventor, Alan Amron, he, from what I understand, crammed a bunch of batteries and whatnot in a pump into there. And then the first thing they went with was the UZI. These things were awesome. You would pull the magazine out that had the water in it. It had a little plastic cap on it. You could put a couple of those in your pocket and have a bunch of water. And then you put batteries in the back here. I can't remember if it was probably 2 D cells. Went in the back. The stock expanded. It looked exactly like an UZI. It felt like an... It didn't look exactly like an UZI. I think the chamber was on both sides or something. But otherwise, it looked exactly like an UZI. And size-wise and everything looked great. And I think, I don't know if I put the price on here, but very cool piece of history for a lot of us. Posted this on Instagram. A lot of people remembered that one. So we just found out about that one. I just figured that one out. So we posted a bunch of new stuff. I added that inventor, Alan Amron. Interesting guy. He invented a couple of other squirt guns. But he also invented, well, he claims to have invented the Post-it note, and I think 3M gave him $400 million or $40 million, so I think he might have invented the Post-it note, and he attempted to get the Beatles back together, so talk about an interesting guy. And he also invented our Uzis. So that guy, and then we also have, well, a couple other interesting things coming up for the rest of the month. Stay tuned. We'll post these each morning. We want to say thanks to our Patreons, the people that make it possible for us to do projects like this one and others, but really this one. This is one that I've been interested in. We're going to attempt to do it all year long this year, and thanks to our Patreons that make that possible. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let me know if the volume's okay. We definitely need to get a better microphone here. And till next time, thanks for watching.